So hi everyone, it's me, Shadow Lefty here, and for today's video, it is going to be me reacting to distressing YouTube channels. Basically, number one. I'm saying number one because the channel that this video's on is Gearisko, and if Gearisko ever ever sees this uploaded onto YouTube, I just want to be telling you I'm very sorry if I said your channel name wrong, and I'm going to be watching possibly two of his videos.
The dark side of YouTube, a place I'm sure a lot of you have heard of before. One minute you're watching a video, let's say, about the history of esports speedruns, and the next you're watching a 50-view analog horror video. A lot of times, just clicking around will lead you down some pretty crazy rabbit holes, some of which will lead you to some very unnerving channels. Some of these channels can be art projects that show just how disturbing certain concepts can be, while other channels hide their own dark secrets. Today, we'll be looking at some of these channels ourselves. From an odd project to one of the most unnerving channels I've ever seen, welcome to the darkest channels on YouTube.
This is a Funhouse feature presentation. Let the entertainment begin!
I'm sure pretty much everyone here knows about the Walton Files. If you don't, it's an analog horror series heavily inspired by Five Nights at Freddy's that has created its own cult fan base through its unique art style and great storytelling. So, why am I telling you about this series? Because the first channel, Bond Films, has a very similar, but different, story on its hands that's just beginning to flourish. Out of the 10 videos on the channel, 8 have this Walton File style of production. Despite the similarities between the two channels, the unique atmosphere that this channel is able to create still sets it apart. The common thread between these videos is the emptiness that they make you feel. They harbor a level of tension that keeps you focused on every little thing that's going on. Although I won't be analyzing this series, I have enough analysis videos coming up as it is, I will explain what the series is about. In the mid-1970s, a sandwich restaurant called Jackie and Friends was opened. At first, this seemed like another Showbiz Pizza clone, but of course, this is far from the case. Both the restaurant itself and its parent company, the now defunct Funhouse Incorporated, hold some very dark secrets. As the plot unravels, you'll become increasingly unnerved with each episode. There are a lot of different art projects on YouTube. I'm sure you've seen some of these before, and I'm sure that some of them have creeped you out. One you may have not heard of is Boysford. Boysford is truly an indescribable experience. It's genuinely hard for me to even put into words the talent and intensity that this channel holds. The first video on this channel, Take Care, pretty much encapsulates the energy of the entire channel itself. At first, the video is pretty lighthearted, even cute to some, saying, "These are troubling times, my friend. During such tribulation, let us focus on the small victories. Waking at a reasonable hour, exercising consistently, ignoring the noises downstairs, staying productive." Before the camera walks down the stairs and shows a creature standing in the corner. This creature says, this shows the seamless transition between a lighthearted scene and a pretty terrifying one, all while telling a story. This one being of the struggles people have faced during quarantine, such as isolation from loved ones and losing motivation. Every single video on this channel conveys some type of message. The use of distressing music and disturbing animation is extremely prevalent here. There also may be more to these than meets the eye, although from what I've seen I doubt it's an ARG. Nonetheless, this entire channel is an art project that you need to see for yourself. The Backrooms, Pilot Red Sun, Analog Horror, and Adult Swim Bumpers. What do you get when you combine all of these things together?
Mm.
Well, you get Sobong. I first discovered this channel through its video with no title, and because of how similar the animation was to Pilot Red Sun, I decided to check out more. This caused me to stumble upon the Backroom series, which, although short, is one of the better put together series out there. Obviously, we know who made the best one, but that's for another video. This series in particular shows how talented the creator is, and how distressing they can make their content. Each video progresses a bit more, showing the struggle of someone desperately wandering the backrooms, trying to get out. This channel is able to use phenomenal editing, realistic visuals, and at times uncanny animation to create an atmosphere that should only be experienced.
As I remember this day, so much regret. Huh.
In late 2017, I found a huge cardboard box filled with VHS tapes my dad made during the late 70s and early 80s. I decided to archive them on YouTube. My dad, Morgan Falk Turner, was once partners with Marcus Lawson and Hank Brandon Reynolds and worked for Canyon Computers. He theorized the ROM disk, created the first home hard drive that could store more than 1 gigabyte, and designed the new Colorado Field Computer Megafarm and the Turner Assembly, a machine that could potentially make humans immortal. I'll upload and update the archives every once in a while. Many tapes are very worn down and will take time to be restored enough to be digitalized. Stay tuned. This is the channel trailer for My Happiest Days. Every single video in this archive shows the unraveling psyche of a man that has gone too far. A man that's chosen to push the limit when he shouldn't have. A man that didn't know what he had until he lost it all. There are currently 15 videos on this channel of varying lengths. Each video seems to get worse and worse as time goes on, revealing a little bit more of the darkness that lies within each tape.
Мой первый, я даже не знаю, как это назвать, говно какое-то, ну. Я попробую снять скайварс, я даже не знаю, настроил ли модикам, я даже не знаю, говорю ли я сейчас в микрофон.
When watching that clip, you may have assumed that this video was just a regular Minecraft video made by a kid, the same as many other videos here on YouTube, and you'd be right. However, this wasn't just any kid. No, this was Vladislav Roslyakov. For some of you, that name may already ring a bell, but for those of you that don't know, I'll fill you in. Vlad was a troubled guy. His father and mother broke up, and not long after, his father sustained a head injury, causing him to be much more aggressive towards Vlad. On top of this, his mother was a Jehovah's Witness and limited his social activity, not even allowing him to use a computer until the age of 16. He, of course, was also ridiculed and bullied at his school that he attended, Kirch Polytechnic College. However, despite everything I said, what happened next can't be excused by anything that happened to him. On October 17, 2018, a then 18-year-old Vlad went to his former school and proceeded to take the lives of 20 people and injure 70 others before taking
But that's not
He
nice.
can be seen in surveillance video wearing a shirt that says hatred. It said that he was a huge fan of Dylan and Eric Harris, and that he claimed that they were awesome. He even took his own life similar to Eric, doing it in the library of his school. It's crazy to think that the same person that felt it necessary to take away and traumatize so many innocent people was once someone that wanted to become a YouTuber like so many of us have before.
Channel is purely about what I just said, which is helping our society, helping our government figure out what's wrong with our country, and hopefully build a better system. Like the wealth inequality that goes on here, the education and opportunity inequalities create this stuff. I mean, I talked to some of these kids or some of these people, and they said that when they were kids, they had no hope of a bright future. There was no chance of it. So that's what I think needs to change.
Which I do agree.
What exactly is a normal person? Is it someone that maintains a regular social life, takes a job, or goes to school? Is it someone that has a decent upbringing and lives by the status quo? Is it someone that acts socially acceptable? And what happens to those that aren't deemed as normal? Like the homeless, the prostitutes, and even those that may be keeping it in the family, so to speak. Well, the channel Soft White Underbelly explores this. This channel interviews all of the people that society casts out. With over 2.7 million subscribers and nearly 1,000 videos, I wouldn't be surprised if you've seen at least one video from them in your recommended before. So many voices that are otherwise unheard are able to be projected to thousands and even millions of people through this channel. Things that you may have wanted to ignore are forced right in front of your eyes. It can be an extremely sobering experience, to say the least, but it can also be a very chilling one. The lives these people have led and the suffering these people have undergone or even caused others can be hard to hear about. But adversely, it can be a very motivating thing to see at times. Seeing these people that were dealt some of the worst hands imaginable still have a smile on their face and accept what they're going through shows us all that we need to appreciate anything that we do have, because people are happy with much worse. Well, that's another video done. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed as always. If you did, like and subscribe with notifications on to see my next video. Make sure to follow my Instagram and Twitter, links below. I'll see you in the next one, and have a good day.
Okay, so yeah, so next and final one is distressing YouTube channels too. So play now.
Some channels on YouTube can leave you with an uneasy feeling deep inside, like you just watched something that you weren't supposed to. Others seem pleasant, but in reality hold some of the darkest secrets on this website. I'll be covering some of both in this video, and by the way, welcome to the most distressing YouTube videos too.
Okay, so actually, for this, I won't be using.
In my unnerving YouTube videos video, I mentioned a channel called Fake Mistress. I also said that I'd cover it in this video. Fake Mistress is a channel that was created in March of 2010 that houses 4 very interesting videos. Although these videos are up to your own interpretation, many would personally receive these videos as pretty odd, if not downright unnerving. White Noise 2 is a video that I covered in the aforementioned unnerving YouTube videos video. It contains grainy footage in what may be a kid's room with childlike animal toys or statues? I don't really know. In the background, we can hear some incomprehensible muttering, seemingly of someone in some type of emotional state, whether that be positive or negative. At the end of the video, we see mention of a place called the Neurotitan Gallery. We'll get back to this place later, but it is important in tracing back the meaning and origins of this channel. The next video on the channel is called This Is Not the Place for the Luxury of Love. In this tent, we're presented with some very pleasant individuals, namely the eyeless bird, waving guy, and the eldritch horror animal walking back and forth. The gang's all here, really. And of course, you already know that the audio is more of the same. Although personally, this video's audio is creepier than the previous to me. Something about the reversed voice along with the perpetual low note reverberating in the background gives me a deep sense of dread, or possibly just tension, but either way, it's not a very good feeling. In the end, we see someone walk out of the art exhibit before it again states that this is at the Neurotitan Gallery. Our second to last stop is a video titled I Will Survive.mov. This video as usual takes place in one room, however this room in particular is especially unnerving to me. The background audio combined with the visuals almost gives me the impression of a building someone was locked inside for years, and after nearly going insane from loneliness, they attempted to create friends out of scraps that they found throughout the abandoned building. The audio just adds to this perspective, something like the person just recorded whatever sound they could conjure up that remotely sounded like anything other than themselves, the only person that they've been with for years. Now I know that that was pretty intense, but that's kind of the beauty of this type of art. No matter how strange, each person can interpret it in their own way. The final video on this channel is titled brandnewworld.mov. To me, this is easily the most odd of all the videos. Even the comments are pretty creeped out. This feels like a backrooms level, like you just walk through an infinite plane full of art exhibits until you enter this final one. It seems like this is depicting some type of evolution in humanity, possibly that eventually humans will no longer look human and instead much more animalistic, crouched down on all fours with a bird's head. The creepiest part is near the end where you see a hat propped up above the chair attached to some headphones. Perhaps this is supposed to represent some type of mind control device or a state of constant thinking, never really being able to focus on one thing as the world continues to rapidly change around you. Oddly enough, this is the most unnerving part of the entire video series to me, specifically because of how the audio sounds as the camera pans into the hat. It literally sounds like you're going insane. I guess after all that existential terror, you're probably about ready to figure out who the creative mind behind this is, right? Well, if you check the description of these videos, it mentions someone named Olivia Pills, also of course known as Fake Mistress. If you look up the Neurotitan Gallery that they commonly showcase their exhibits in, you'll notice that it's located in Berlin, Germany. I say this because if you look up Fake Mistress, a simple Google search will bring you to this website, oliviapills.de. The website states that Fake Mistress used to be a part of a band called Fake Masters, but now does solo work. The site also explains why the background audio is so odd. The music she composes and performs live is a mixing of field recordings, her own recordings of instruments, and cut-ups of old classical orchestra music vinyls that have been processed using Linux and open source programs only. According to the news section of the website, she still hosts art exhibits. I guess host is the right word. So if you're German and genuinely interested in this type of art, I'd recommend supporting her work. A channel made in 2011 with 27 videos and a collective of 1,073 views may not seem like much at first glance, especially since the videos themselves seem to be pretty ordinary things talking about life and other mundane activities, not atypical for that time on YouTube. However, this channel as usual holds a very dark secret. The owner of this channel is named Ciro Ramos Nogueira Filho, and he is currently serving a sentence of 95 years in prison. But for what, you may ask? Well, let's just say he owned a lot of indecent files on his computer. And when I say a lot, I don't mean like 100. I mean like 30,000, over 900 of which were videos. He gained most of these from a Russian website that was full of people into the production and consumption of this type of media. Of course, to make it even worse, he did in fact participate in the creation of it himself using an individual that was under his care. Apparently, he also has kids that are now adults who claim to not have ever been treated the same way as the child that was in his care recently. His arrest was a part of a widespread Brazilian crackdown on this type of content due to the website presumably being raided and I'm guessing everyone's personal info being dumped. Now this small and seemingly boring channel has an entirely different meaning. If nothing else, I'm glad that he's caught and I'm more glad that he'll never be free again. How has nobody covered any creepypasta in an analog horror format? That's a question I'm definitely sure you've asked at least once before. Well, there is in fact a channel that can fulfill your wish. Stuffy Studios was created in 2019 and currently has 23 videos. The actual creepypasta videos take up a small percentage of the channel, numbering only 5 in total. The majority of the channel has videos surrounding a series called Sneaky Snack Bar. It's more or less a typical analog horror series, although I recommend it specifically for the art because that's really what stands out. There are 12 main series episodes with some extra unlisted episodes, so it takes a little bit of time, but if it's something you'd be into, I'd recommend you look into it. Now back to the creepypasta videos. I first discovered this channel while looking for new analog horror videos to feature in the intro of my unnerving YouTube videos video, and while looking around I happened to stumble upon the Smile Dog analog horror video. Of course, being a fan of creepypasta, I had to click, and that's when I discovered the other 4 videos. These 5 videos, all based on different creepypasta, build around the already established story, sometimes adding their own elements to the plot and other times recreating it as best they can. Since this won't be a channel analysis, I'll only get into the video that I stumbled upon in the first place. The Smile Dog video starts off with the experience of a guy named Wyatt who received a strange message from an anonymous user. This message contained an image of a dog smiling with human teeth in its mouth. After seeing the image, he tried to go to bed and forget about it, but he soon realized that he couldn't get the dog out of his head. As it floated around in his mind, the dog continuously repeated to spread the image. After this, we immediately move on to an old cartoon wherein we're shown a dog who is desperately trying to go to sleep, unaware of the unnerving figure that's lurking in the same room. After finally going to sleep, the dog is presumably corrupted by the figure, and we get this imagery. It's pretty creepy and allows this mysterious dog to have some type of backstory. Overall, this channel is creative and has a lot of potential, so I'd highly recommend checking it out if you're into that type of content. Triple Jointed TV is a pretty mundane channel boasting 460 subs and 16 videos. These videos contain the channel's owner doing activities like fishing, bowling, and talking about sports. Now if you've come from my unnerving YouTube videos video or happen to know who this guy in the thumbnails is, then you already know where I'm going with this. I won't go as in depth as I did in the previously mentioned video, but I'll briefly explain. On Easter 2017, Steve William Stevens, the man depicted in several thumbnails and the channel's owner, proceeded to get on Facebook Live and rant about his issues in life before claiming that he had taken the lives of several people and would take more. Afterward, he proceeded to take the life of 74-year-old Robert Godwin on camera, exclaiming that he was doing it because of his current girlfriend. After this, he would go on the run before eventually being caught a few states over, and after a brief police chase would take his life. I guess those fishing videos don't seem so innocent now, huh?
Nope.
I've mentioned several YouTubers that have taken lives or generally harmed other people. However, I've never talked about a YouTuber that may have had something bad happen to them. I was first introduced to this user through Pixel After Dark's video titled The Disappearance and Death of YouTuber Wonk New, a video I recommend you check out after this one. Wonk New has a very odd channel, something like a weird art project combined with an alternate reality game. Out of the 94 very odd videos on this channel, only one passed 1,000 views. This video is titled I Don't Know What to Say. It begins with an animation and text in the background describing Wong New's very negative outlook on life and themselves. They talk about being worthless and not knowing what to do with life at all. The last sentence is, I hate you exactly like I love you all, and as I love everyone. 3 years after this video, a Twitter with the handle Wonk Knoll began to post about what supposedly happened to the YouTuber. They say that they participated in a game in which after 3 days they would take Wong New's life. To add more context, they explained that they first discovered the small channel off of a Reddit post, I relate, and then proceeded to become a fan as they assumed it was an ARG. After following the channel for a while, they eventually played the Tempura game, a game on Wong New's website which subsequently caused the end of Wong New's life. Conveniently enough, They also wrap everything up in a nice little bow by stating that they'd be ending themselves because of how insane Walker really was. And of course, just so that Wong Nu would surely be dead to his small community, this page also puts that they had actually saved everyone by taking his life, as he had planned a mass attack on his college in the future. That was supposed to be his special day. Surprisingly enough, although I do sound skeptical, there is at least evidence to back up that Wong Nu was fine using imagery and footage from these incidents in their art, so it's possible that this is true. Some videos that fall into this category are, I have a Facebook page because I'm like you, Dream, every night at 3:33 a.m., and Bang Bang, the Day of Liberty. That last one is by far the most concerning name out of all of them, but this doesn't mean that anything claimed on that Twitter profile was true. After all, this could have been part of a much larger game or even a stunt to push his art, and in the end it failed, so he made sure to perform his own character assassination. Anyone can make a YouTube channel. I think that this series reflects this statement very well. A series of channels that also reflect this statement are Jonathan Zememus, Carol Kipsigis, Graduolis. Even by first glance, you can tell that there aren't really any innocent videos on these channels. For example, on the Jonathan Zememus channel, this is what the most popular video is called. Here are some other titles. Yeah, this is another one of those type of people. This guy goes on many tirades about his views on religion, society, and politics, unashamedly speaking about his attraction to those that aren't even able to get a driver's license yet. Obviously, that's already disturbing enough, but as always, it does get much worse. On November 15th, Jonathan Carroll will be arrested in his hometown of Morgantown, West Virginia. He would eventually be sentenced to 3 years in prison with 10 years probation, and of course he was forced to register into a certain registry. Not only did this man unashamedly share his sick desires all over the internet, but he also attempted to act on them as well. Luckily, these were only through the internet, but he still may have traumatized someone for life. Either way, he definitely belongs in a video such as this one. The amount of unnerving channels that are on this website is still unknown, but today we've been able to cover 6 of them. In the future, I'm sure I'll be able to introduce you to many more of them. If you have any that you've stumbled upon and want me to cover, you can always send me suggestions on Twitter or Instagram at Gearisko, linked in the description. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.
Okay, so yeah. So then I'll be saving distressing YouTube channels 3 for another time. / after I do, possibly. And I just really quickly, before I fully end it, it is just that I don't know if, once again, if I just want to be for October, just doing scary video reactions. But I will probably be making a poll on that, and that's kind of all I wanted to be saying. So if you enjoyed my reaction or my reactions in this video, and you like what I do on my channel, if you haven't already, be making sure to be giving my channel a subscribe if you haven't already. And I will basically see you all in the next video. So that will be it, and goodbye.